A recent rain has pushed off cutting beans on the Wooderson family farm till the afternoon on this cold, windy day in Blackwell. For Steve Wooderson, a Kay County producer and chairman of the Oklahoma Soybean Board, these start days are about on par for what his double crop beans have faced during the growing season.
Our wheat crop this year started out, we had excellent wheat crop, good heavy stubble, which we thought looked like a great opportunity to put some double crop soybeans in. And then as you can see, some of the soybeans in the background kind of ran out of water on the soybean crop.
This past September was a dry one, and exceptionally dry in areas like Blackwell. The lack of rainfall couldn't have come at a worse time for the soybean crop.
Soybean potential looked great till about end of August, 1st of September. We had good stands, just ran out of water kind of on the tail end. From the combine, you know, it looks like we should see the yield monitor showing something, but you just have a lot of flat pods that didn't fill. There's some beans maybe at the bottom of the plant, but then you get up in the top, there's pods, there's just nothing in them. Well, I think we always go through a period of heat in August and some dry weather, and you kind of hope to get those soybeans through that tough time and hopefully maybe cool off and get a little moisture at the end of August, the 1st of September to kind of finish that crop, make that crop, and we just didn't get it this year. And so, you know, you hear it a lot of times, just one rain away, but a lot of times it's not necessarily how much rain you get, but it's just a little timing on getting it at the right time to finish them off.
Mother Nature is always the determining factor in how a crop is going to turn out in Oklahoma. But when you've been farming the same ground as long as Steve has, that's just a fact you're accustomed to roll with.
Well, I started, I guess, farming at a young age. You know, like my first wheat crop when I was 14, and so that was a long time ago, back in the 60s anyway. So we've been doing stuff here for over 50 years right here in Kay County.
But for Steve's son-in-law, Andrew, who married into the family business about 10 years ago, the challenges of making a crop are still a little hard to comprehend.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. The variables in farming are mind-boggling. Trying to balance what things are going to cost, what you're going to be able to get out of your crop when you sell it, because prices are all over the place. Learning about diseases and pests and different things that the crops go through. And then seeing the effect that the commodity prices can have on how profitable things are around here, and having to learn to be efficient and try to make every dollar count. Yeah, one of the things I've heard in the 10 years is if you don't plant it, you can't you can't harvest it. And so, yeah, you just have to keep figuring out how to be efficient and how to make things pay. And there's a lot of crucial decisions to make when it comes to that.
Although the yield potential is looking dim for this year's soybean crop, both Steve and Andrew are looking back on 2021 as a whole in a definite positive light.
Well, I think overall 21 should have been a profitable year for most farmers. You know, it doesn't always rain on everybody the same, but we had, you know, pretty good wheat, corn, milo crops. The beans are disappointing, but you know, overall, I think it should be a crop. And to be a farmer, you've got to be an optimist. And so we plan for next year. And of course, the challenges this year are going to be high fertilizer and chemical prices. And you know, we'll make our plan and try to do a good rotation. And I think diversity, staying diversified. We try to. That's why we grow 4 crops. And we've been very heavy on beans, and beans have been very good to us for the last 5 or 6 years. And this year, you know, we're a little short on the bean crop, but they've been pretty good 5 out of the last 6 years. So we'll still grow a lot of beans.